Hey, what's going on? It's your girl, Kendra G. And you know, are you looking for love? I got you. Download the Kendra G Singles dating app right now, iPhone and Android phones. And also, we got the Kendra G Singles card game. Who said being single can't be fun? Honey, it's very fun. And that's why we have the card game. Pre-sales are available now. So what are you waiting for? Stop looking at my pretty face and go get your own card game.
I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
Use code TFU10 for a discount on the full body cleanse.
This is O'Shea Jackson. You're listening to TFU Podcast, if you didn't know.
Welcome into another episode of TFU. Today we're joined by legendary TV, radio host personality, CEO, creator of the Kendra G Singles app. She's not a businesswoman, she is a business. Kendra G in the house.
Let's go!
I love that. Alejandro, can I say that I have a podcast and Alejandro is the executive? No, I'm the executive producer. He's the co-executive producer. So now y'all get to see what he looks like.
And I'm dressed all nice.
You're dressed. They're going to be hitting me up asking if you're single. Are you single?
I am single.
Ooh, we got to get into that.
And we wanted to mention this because AD has a show idea.
Okay.
He has a show idea.
He's very concerned about me, and he wants me to find love. So his idea is Alejandro finds love.
Okay, but Alejandro wants a rich girl because he wants somebody that he can make money up off of. We've kind of talked about this. He said he wants a woman that's going to be able to help him grow, and she has to bring something to the table because he's the prize. That's what he told me.
That's what I said. That's what I
told me
said.
he's the prize.
Hey, look, good for him. I don't know if the girls gonna feel that way, but you never know.
But according to him, women approach him, and here's the deal. I fight hard to say that the woman is the prize, but here is the reality. Who's ever being chased is the prize.
That's
true. So if you're chasing the man, then he's the prize. Point blank period, unfortunately. So don't chase the man.
There you go.
But he's tall, he got good hair. They want you for those genetics. They want you for that Nick Cannon, sperm quality.
And I'm willing to make deals. If anybody needs a surrogate baby, I'm willing to donate the sperm.
How much?
I'll think about a price. We'll talk later, and you can figure out the price.
Let's see how much it's going for.
I just don't want no responsibilities of raising the kid.
Okay, that's what a sperm donor is. Anonymous helper of creator of life with no responsibilities. I want to know what the price is. I was thinking about starting a sperm bank, actually.
That's crazy.
How is that crazy? There's a lot of women that are older that want children that,
Kendra G sperm bank.
It will go along with the dating app. It actually makes so much sense. And think about it. Black sperm is very hard to find because here's the deal. If you wanted to go the sperm donor route, it costs money. And shout out to our Caucasian sisters. They be getting that black sperm very fast. So the black women don't be having none left. So I want to create a black only for black people, black women only sperm bank. But we'll add Alejandro's Hispanic. So it'll be brown only for black women only sperm bank.
Oh, so the only way you can buy the sperm from you is
you gotta be black. Yep, you gotta be black.
I got 25% in me, by the way.
What's that?
Just so we know. According to,
It's 25% black?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
but I have 15% Taino, which is indigenous, and according to AD, indigenous people were black, so let's raise it up to 40.
Okay, and then the other side is Hispanic?
Yeah, like Spain, Portugal.
Well, this is a good idea. Brown only sperm bank for black women only.
I love it.
I'm always trying to, I'm a hustler, baby.
I love it. I love it.
The only clause I want for my sperm is if the kid makes it to the NBA.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
Or the NFL.
You got to be,
tickets?
I know, I want to come back to his life.
You want to come back?
No, you were never in the life. You got to be in the life from the beginning. So the child becomes, well, how tall are you, first of all?
My ID says 6'2".
Okay, you're pretty tall to be Mexican.
Not Mexican.
He's not Mexican. He's Puerto Rican.
I know, I was joking. Don't get mad. It was just a joke, people. Please.
Oh, that is so funny. Kendra.
Hi, AD.
So here, we were just going over and looking over in your journey. It looked like you were born in Connecticut.
I was born in Connecticut. That's where I was when I came out of my mother's vagina. She happened to be in Waterbury, Connecticut at the time. Yes.
Did you enjoy it there?
Well, listen, really what I talk about my dad so much, but it's just so important because Shirley Roth is from Connecticut. So she's actually from my city, Waterbury, Connecticut. So we have her. I believe John Mayer is from Connecticut. And also Cassie is from Connecticut. So it's not a lot of celebrities, but those are major names from Connecticut. Okay. But I grew up in a city that wasn't really something where you could have big thinking, big dreams. And luckily I had the kind of dad who just always sold into me and my environment. Like, you could be bigger than this environment. The world is of your oasis. You're going to leave when you're 18. Like, so I was kind of like, I'm here, but by the time I'm 18, according to my dad, I need to get the hell out and go somewhere else where there's more opportunities in the world. So I'm always so grateful for him, because without that big thinking mindset, I could have got sucked into my city. I mean, shout outs to my city. I am who I am because of my city. But I was just so much larger, the things that I wanted to do from growing up in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Right. So from there, you went to Hampton University.
I did. Oh, you really did research. Let me find out y'all really be doing research.
Oh, no, we got everything here. We do it all here. And how was Hampton?
You know what? So there's the thing. Hampton was my only black college. So Hampton's a black college. And I remember when I got to Hampton freshman year, I learned about the silk scarf, because as a black girl, I used to just wear like the cotton scarf. And they're like, no, you got to use the silk scarf because that's what doesn't make your hair break off. And when I went to Hampton, to me, it was like, Hampton, the show Different Worlds is inspired by Hampton, right? And all the kids.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Because it was located in Virginia.
Okay.
Yes. And then Whitley, one of the most famous characters, is a typical Hampton girl, a very bougie, very prissy, very pretty. But one thing about Hampton, when I grew up, it was like either you was pretty or smart. Okay, so if you was pretty, that's what it was. And if you was smart, you probably wasn't that cute.
Right.
At Hampton, these girls had it all. They were beautiful. They were educated. A lot of them came from 2-parent households. It was like real life Cosby Show kids. So being in that black excellence environment was so key. And what I loved about Hampton, growing up in Connecticut, it's not a black state. So it was awesome to be around so many amazing black people, and that was primarily like what it was. So I loved Hampton.
So what is because I didn't go to a...
Did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to college.
What college did you go to?
I went to Central Arkansas.
That's probably good, because if you went to a black college, you would have had a child. You would have got a girl pregnant, because there's so many beautiful girls, and you would have been out there.
No, yeah.
You would have.
No, I definitely believe that. But I was going to ask you, what's the benefit of going to a HBCU?
Oh my God, I think the biggest benefit is, like I just said a second ago, black excellence. Now we have social media, right? So before social media, I almost feel like, the news, describe black people in a way that black excellence knew. There's a whole new portion of us. That's why the Cosby Show was so important, because it represented black people in a different light, married, a doctor, a lawyer, family, kids. So to me, the importance of a black college is you get to live that in real life, and you get to be around people who look like you, who get you, like your vibe. So I would suggest, especially if you're going to do like a doctorate program and a master program, do your undergrad at a black college. It's an experience you will like. You cannot pay for it. Like, I didn't know about sororities and fraternities. I'm not a part of one, but just watch. It was like school days, literally living school days in that black power movement, and just, it was awesome. It was awesome.
You know, I was going to ask you, so when did you realize that you wanted to be on TV or you wanted to be on radio? I know you started in radio, but obviously you're a TV personality.
Yeah.
You got a big personality. Listen, and so when did you know that was for you?
You know what? I always knew I was a star, AD. I think like when I came out my mother's womb, I was like, okay, where's the cameras, baby? Where the camera at? Goo goo gaga. I'm here, planet Earth. I remember again, my father telling me as a child, like, you know, you could be bigger than Oprah. You could be bigger. I was obsessed with Janet Jackson. He was like, I remember my dad said to me, if you gave yourself just as much attention as you give Janet Jackson, you could be a bigger star than she could ever be. I was 16 years old, and I was like, my dad's on crack.
I love that.
But I was like, my dad. I
love your dad.
Yeah, like.
I had a similar dad. That's why I really like that.
Yeah, so I think that with him sewing into me, I remember a distinct moment. I want to say I was in 8th grade, but you know that quintessential question, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I remember saying, like, I want to be on TV. And at the time, I didn't know in what manner, because Connecticut didn't have black radio. So it wasn't like I knew about black radio growing up. And I remember saying it in the classroom, and then a person was like, you don't have the it factor. Like, you can't be on TV. People on TV have an it factor, and you don't have it.
Damn, somebody told you that?
What the fuck said that?
First of all, that's probably kind. And so, you know how many, I get like, the type of things people say to me, child, that was actually polite. But what it did, I never forget that moment because it didn't offend me. And I remember thinking like, oh, so really only I gotta believe in my dream and God. Like, other people may not see it, but that's okay. And that was like my first lesson of everyone's not gonna believe in you. I guess they would say haters, but it didn't sway me because I know now, I didn't know what to call it then. I'm like, this person doesn't even know me at all or what I'm gonna do and what I'm gonna contribute to this world. So it didn't hurt my feelings. But I would say as soon as probably like 8th grade, I started saying I wanted to be in something on television. What was that something? And I didn't know TV and radio at that time.
What would you study in college?
So college, going back to, okay, no, this is different. This is a true story. I majored in marketing at first because of Robin Givens in the movie Boomerang.
That is so funny.
Let me tell you, because when I had to go to college, right, when I went to college, I was like, okay, I remember the movie Boomerang, and Robin Givens was beautiful.
She was all that.
She was all that, dressed down, and she was the head of marketing.
Right. So
I said, okay, this is the type of job I can have because, you know, you can still be really pretty and you're the head. So I majored in marketing. Junior year, I got serious with, okay, I'm about to graduate. What the hell is this? And then also I would say, going back to marketing, Hampton had career day. And in career day, you always had to dress up, like in a suit because you're going to different companies, giving your resume. And I hated career day. I hated career day because I was like, I'm not this suit girl. Like, I want to be fly, but I don't want to be in this type of business suit. I want to be, you know, I think fashion has evolved from, I was in Hampton 20 years ago, but then and we didn't have like Fashion Nova and all those things, and you get like really cute business suits for cheap. It was just like the plain express business suits, and I hated it. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want a 9-to-5. And then I got hit with Carson Daly was hosting MTV. He was a VJ. And I was like, if I could have any job in the world, it would be Carson Daly's job. And then I did my research, and he started offering radio. And I was like, okay. So then I decided to change my major to journalism.
That's so cool.
Yes.
And then I know when you were 19, you had the opportunity to meet Janet Jackson, one of your celebrity heroes at Design.
Yes.
How did that go, or how did that even come about?
Here's the funny story. You're talking about when I met her on a show called Much More Music, based out of Canada. I was 21 years old, but here's the thing, you're not wrong, because I actually met Janet Jackson when I was 19, and let me tell you how.
Okay.
I was in college, and I had my college best friend. Her name is Tiffany, and Tiffany is like black, white, Puerto Rican, like beautiful, right? So men just love Tiffany. So I remember we were home. We went to Hampton. She was in Stamford. She lived in Stamford, Connecticut. I lived in Waterbury, Connecticut. one of these guys who was older, who was like mesmerized by Tiffany, took us to a nightclub in New York City. So we get a table. Lo and behold, Janet Jackson is coming to the nightclub, and Janet Jackson is sitting in the like VIP section right next to us. So, and I've never told the story. This is not on tape. This is the very first time.
Okay.
So I'm sitting, and Tiffany knows how much I love Janet Jackson. She's like, Kendra, Janet's right behind you. I was like, I know. I have to talk to her. And then I turned around and I tapped her on the shoulder, and I was like, I just want to say I'm like one of your biggest fans. And she was like, oh, thank you so much. So kind, so polite. And then, like, you know, you want to play it cool. And then we leave the club, and I cried the whole night because I was like, I finally met Janet Jackson. So you were referring, the truth of the matter is I really did meet Janet Jackson at 18. But you're talking about the opportunity when I really got to, like, talk to her. My first television question, it was in Canada. I even say, I came all the way from America.
Right.
I was living in Buffalo, New York at the time, so I drove like an hour and a half. Like, I came all the way from America. But it was such a, see, I grew up, my first dream was I was like just being Janet Jackson #1 fan. Like, if that was like a job that paid well, that would have been my job. Like, if it was like you can make $15 million just being Janet Jackson's #1 fan, I would have signed up for it because I was so obsessed with her. So when I met her, because I met her that one time, but it was like, you know, kind of so fast.
Did she remember you?
No, of course not. It was like in the club, you know, like it was in the club. It was dark. Like, she didn't remember that. You know, of course I remember.
Right.
But the moment on television is really an amazing moment because, you know, she comes down, she wipes my tears. I've had this dream, and all I kept thinking was, she's really human. And dreams, okay, if Janet Jackson is human, game on. Because it's almost like, I think we kind of got past this because of social media and celebrities are much more reachable. But when I grew up, celebrities really were like aliens. Like, you could not access them, and they were just human. They were superhumans. So Janet coming down in that moment and wiping my tears and giving me a hug. First of all, I remember thinking like her face was flawless. It was like a doll. Like, this cannot be a real person. But more so what it did was it helped me realize, no, she is a real person. So all the things that she has been able to accomplish, you can. I can't sing, but you know, the level of success. So it changed me forever. It's like one of the most, it changed my whole thinking from that moment on.
I can see it, you know?
What?
Because, like, you know, in your head, like, especially people around you, they try to box you in.
Absolutely.
They don't, you know, like with the dreams and all that stuff. If you have too big of a dream, it's like, yeah, but you should have a backup plan.
Well, you know, most people, see, you can have friends you grew up with, and they could look at Drake and say, yeah, they could celebrate Drake because he's a star, but it's hard when you grow up with people and then you become that successful because your success indirectly makes them feel less successful. And it's like, well, I grew up with him. How was he able to accomplish this and I'm still here? Or I grew up with her and how was she able to accomplish this and you're still here? So a lot of times people are trying to keep you in a box because they don't want your success to make them feel like their life didn't matter and what could they have done.
Yeah, people want you to win, just not more than them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. That is absolutely. So how did you become the radio host? How did that even come about after college?
So going back to college, remember I decided Carson Daly. So Carson Daly is, okay, I want Carson Daly's job. So, you know, I switched from marketing to journalism and I got a job. We have WHOV 88.1 FM, Hampton University. And Hampton, I'm not sure if it still is, but it was a jazz radio station. So in the city of Hampton allowed anybody to audition for on-air talent. So even though I went to Hampton, people that auditioned for on-air talent could have just lived in Hampton. And I remember it was like maybe 30 people. They picked 5, and I actually did not get picked to be on air. I got picked to be a board operator. So the board operator is the program director thought I had a lisp. I probably do, child. Who the hell knows? But he was like, your speaking isn't good enough to host a jazz show, but you could run the board. So do you want that opportunity? So in my humble...
You weren't offended?
Well, listen, you got to crawl before you walk, right? So my thing is I'm in the building, so that means something, and it worked in my favor. And for 6 months, I was a board operator, and lo and behold, somebody got sick. They couldn't fill in, and then I had to go on air. And at Hampton, slow jams was like if you got a slow jam show, Midnight Love. Coming up next, we got Key Sweat. I was terrible at it, but it was the most popular show because everybody loved the slow jam show. But on the weekends, it was underground hip hop. And that's when my personality shined in the hip hop sector. Like literally, I would be on the radio and I'd be like, "This is Kendra G. Could somebody go to the Chinese store for me and get me a 4-piece wing and some duck sauce and make sure they give you extra duck sauce? Okay, right now we got Kanye West." But those genuine, real breaks, that's what landed me my radio jobs because I was just myself. So I matched the hip hop format more, even though the R&B was my favorite, as in the music, my personality was better with the hip hop.
Did artists actually visit the college?
Yes. I remember Carl Thomas came. I remember Carl Thomas distinctly. God, Jay-Z came. Jay-Z was a big one. I have a picture. I'll give y'all this picture because y'all can add it to this episode because it really pisses me off. So back then we didn't have camera phones. No, remember that phone where you took, it was that square and you couldn't see the camera in advance? So Jay-Z was on our campus, right? Okay. My college roommate, I take a picture of her and Jay-Z. I'm gonna give you both pictures. You're gonna see her clear. You could see her and Jay-Z clear. My picture with Jay-Z, her thumb covers my face. So I always have to show her picture before I show my picture with Jay-Z so people can know that this really is Jay-Z in the picture because obviously the outfit is the same. But Jay-Z was on our campus. Mace came to our campus. Okay. Mace came to our campus. So we had celebrities. We had some celebrities back then.
That's dope right there.
I remember those fucking the thumb things.
Yeah, it was
you remember the
Kodak.
portable cameras?
It was the Kodak camera. The one time
I think she did it on purpose.
I don't think she did it on purpose.
On purpose.
You think she did it on purpose?
On purpose.
Oh, God. What is Jay-Z's birthday? Because I think it's saved in my phone. I want to show. Jay-Z's birthday is December 4th, right? Let me see if I can find it real quick.
How you know that off the top?
He's a good rapper.
Because you didn't ask me yet, but I love Beyonce. And Beyonce's birthday is September 4th. And Jay-Z's birthday is December 4th. They're both... Here it is. Here it is. I found it. Okay. Can I show y'all? How does this work? I got to get up?
No.
No, don't worry.
Okay, so I'm going to show... Okay, let me show you hers first. So can y'all see?
Yeah.
That's her. That's her. Okay. This is mine.
On purpose.
I don't think you know what? For a long time, I was very mad at her, in real life.
As you should be.
No, but honestly, shout out to Christina, my first college roommate. I don't think it was intentional. It was just it's like how?
It's not like
my picture. I did such a great job with her picture.
Because you care and you're a real person.
This was a hard thing. For many years, I was really mad. But then I was like, no, she didn't do it on purpose.
She got you. I'm telling you, she got you.
I like this interview because y'all asking me questions that people never ask.
So now your work are gone.
No, yeah. So after college?
Yes.
What was your first job as a journalist?
So after college, I didn't have a job. So I graduated from college, had to move back to Connecticut, and was trying to figure it out. And then I decided to go back to Hampton for the summer. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take my radio career very seriously. And I spent the summer working at WHOV to get an air check tape because in radio, you need a demo tape. And then I was like, but when school starts, I got to go home. I'm not going to be on campus when school starts because I graduated. So I ended up going back home, and this is 2001 because I graduated school in 2001. And Connecticut got its first... We don't call it a black station. It's called CHR because black is everybody black. Everybody on the air is a black host or CHR is you could be potentially white. You don't have to also be a black person, but they got a CHR station called Hot 93.7. So I was like, okay, I'm here. Let me try to get a job. I remember I got an interview. The next thing you know, Aaliyah died. Crazy. 9/11 happens because I had an interview in August. So then Aaliyah died at the end of August, so that took some time. Then 9/11 hit.
Got it.
So the program director just had a lot of things that was going on. And then I remember in October, he finally was like, okay, I got a slot for you. And I started doing, it was Saturday and Sunday mornings, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. No, it might have been 10 a.m. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Okay.
Because this is a time where you can make mistakes. Nobody's really listening.
Yeah, I can see they gave you.
Yeah, they give you the really.
Just the trial run.
Yeah. So what worked in my favor is I was from Connecticut. It's always great if you work in radio of your hometown because you can speak from a different perspective. And I grew really fast, and I just did extremely well, and I became a primary on-air part-time talent, filled in for a lot of people, and then I got my own show 2 years later in Buffalo, New York. And I was on my way.
Now, what about that one person that worked at your college when he said you spoke with a lisp?
Yes. So
what happened? So did he just abandon that when they started letting you do the radio?
Okay. So what happens? It's so funny. This is like such history. So his name is JD Houston. I haven't talked to him for years. But Sirius Radio, which is now big, it had just launched, and he started working for Sirius Radio. And I remember going to visit him, and this is after Aaliyah died, and I remember. I think I was in New York the day of Aaliyah's funeral, and it was very eerie, and it was just like a really, really sad day. And I went to, it was like Sirius Radio is brand new, and it was a thing of the future because it was subscription radio, which we never had. I think a lot of people didn't think it would be a thing, but it clearly is a thing. It's still around to this day, and we have other versions of it. But that's really the last time I've ever seen. So shout out to JD Houston. No hate. Like, listen, everybody's part of your journey. I think he felt like he did what was best at the time. And hopefully he's still living on this planet. I don't know, y'all. I really don't know. Hey, JD, I hope you're still alive. Thank you.
Hey, man, all my life they call me Peanut Butter Mouth.
They call you what?
Peanut Butter Mouth, and I'm here.
What the
Peanut butter what?
What does that mean?
Peanut Butter Mouth.
What does
Peanut
that
butter
mean?
mouth?
Yeah, like it sounds like I have peanut butter in my mouth when I'm talking.
Oh, peanut butter mouth. Okay.
Yeah, see? That's right. You see?
That might be true.
Oh, God, AD.
It might be some truth in that statement. So now you moved on to another radio station in Chicago, right?
So, okay. Oh, we're really going down the history. So what happened when I went to WB? So I left Connecticut, got the full-time job in Buffalo, New York. Shout out to Buffalo, New York. A year was enough. A year.
You only did 1 year there?
Well, it was enough. A year. Let me tell you, Buffalo, New York, I love y'all so much, but it's too damn cold. Buffalo, New York was too damn cold, but that was the moment, again, the Janet Jackson moment, because I was working in WBOK in Buffalo, New York, and then, again, we went to Much More Music in Toronto, Canada. So that was that journey. That Janet Jackson moment doesn't happen if I don't get this job at WBOK. But it was too damn cold. And what happened, I was in a relationship, and then my contract came up, and they wanted me to sign a 5-year contract. So the way it worked was 5-year negotiable on their end. So for 5 years, if they wanted to keep me at the end of each year, I had to stay. But if I wanted to leave, I couldn't leave. So it was always. That sounds
like a terrible.
It's a terrible contract. It was a terrible contract. So some people were like, "This is almost job guarantee. It's a great job." And I was like, I could give Buffalo, New York 1 more year. I cannot give it 5. So I was like, well, I just want to have the same out as y'all. In the negotiation, they were like, no, it's either this is what it is. We're presenting this. I forget that program director's name, but I didn't like him. And I remember I was like, I can't sign the contract. And then because I want to sign the contract, they let me go. They let me go. It was December 20th. And then 5 days later was December 25th. And I did not know this, but my then boyfriend was planning on proposing. And then he proposed on Christmas Day, and I got engaged. So he lived in Urbana, Illinois at the time. Okay. So that's what brought me to Chicago.
Got it.
So basically, when I didn't sign that contract, I got fired. 5 days later, I got engaged, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm moving in with you. And that's how my Chicago, Illinois journey began. And that's also when I learned that I was not no damn housewife. Hell to the no. I cannot be in nobody's house all day, cleaning, cooking food. That was not for me. I learned, prayerfully so I didn't have to worry about money. My ex-fiance was an electrical engineer. But that 5 months of me not working and just literally waking up every day, I was like, this is not for me. I need to be out in this world doing something. I'm not the girl that just wants to sit in the house that has a man that can take care of it financially. That just wasn't for me.
So you always were an entrepreneur?
I was always a hustler. Now, I think I was always kind of, I worked a lot. You know, I started my own company, you know, I mean, I wrote books. I did a lot of entrepreneurial things, but really, like, I'm an entrepreneur. I live off of just all things I create. That's been about 2 years because I quit my last radio job 2 years ago. But I was always a hustler. I was always ambitious. I always wanted more, like, in life. So that was always, like, even when we were engaged, I was honest with my ex. I was like, oh, we're moving to California. Oh, we're gonna, like, if I get a job here, we have to move. And then I think we had this true love. So he was like, yeah, okay. And then literally one day he was just like, this is an unpredictable journey that you have to go on, but I don't want to go on it. Like, I want to, you know, buy a house, have kids, and live.
Did he go off and do that?
I believe he did. Yeah,
Oh,
I believe
okay.
he did. I ended up, after 2 years working in Chicago, at that time I left for a job in Philly, and I knew our relationship was not going to survive another long distance. It was like, no, you're too career focused. I think a lot of times in early marriages, it's a team effort, right? And it's pretty common for the woman to set aside her dreams in order for the man's dreams to. Which, no hate, nothing wrong with it, but that's what would have had to happen. I don't know if that was any good grammar at all. That's what one of us would have had to give up their dreams for the unit to work. It was just what it was. And I wasn't willing to give up my dreams. And, you know, listen, he was right. Like, my life was very unpredictable. There was no guarantee I was going to end up where I am, child. But, so it made sense for him to say, listen, I got this good job. I'm not trying to go around this world with you, child. And that was it. So, yeah.
I have a question because you mentioned he proposed on Christmas Day.
Yes, he did.
So, because I consider yourself, you know, dating love guru, is it okay to propose on birthdays or holidays?
I think absolutely so. It's okay to propose on any day. Some people expect to be proposed to on their birthday or Christmas. Like, I have girlfriends who are in long-term relationships, and they're like, if he missed my birthday with this, it's a problem. I think it's definitely okay to be proposed to on those days. It's okay to be proposed to any day, to be quite honest.
With the birthday, it's like, this is my day. Don't make it 2 days. Now it's like, now is the engagement and then the birthday. You're taking away her day.
I don't think so. I think you're adding on to her day, because how awesome is it that you get engaged to on your birthday? That's probably the best birthday gift a girl can receive, is a diamond ring on her birthday. That's an excellent day. Her birthday is an excellent day. Christmas is a great day, but honestly, I think her birthday is the day if you're going to propose.
How much do you have to spend on a ring?
Whatever your budget can afford. I don't think that don't go broke.
Oh, you don't do the multiplier thing?
What does that
like
mean?
your salary times.
Yeah, it's your salary times 3.
I think
that's what they say.
Here's the deal. I'm a person, I think those things are cool, but even with my ex, and it was funny, is I had a platinum ring, and I learned that I was allergic to platinum. I probably knew that damn relationship wasn't gonna work. I remember my engagement ring made me break out, because it was a nice ring, but I'm allergic to platinum. So that's probably the first time we wasn't gonna get married. But listen, I'm a person that believes the ring, the wedding, those are the least significant things of a marriage. I think those things are nice, and we're definitely living in a showy time. But no, what is the marriage? Like, what is the soil of this union we're about to have together? Does that align? And I think I'm very grateful when I was engaged. That's what, I had a nice ring, but we was big on okay, how does this really look? Because we both decided divorce wasn't an option. And I really strongly believe if you're going to get married, you have to go into it thinking that divorce is not an option, because it causes you to take all things serious. Like, this is not play. Like, it's me and you till Jesus. So back to your question of the ring, whatever you can afford. Like, do not feel like you have to go broke to show off for the strangers of the world. The internet is the strangers of the world. Like,
he's cheap.
Well, let me clarify. Here's the deal. Now, do what what you can do, right? So like if your budget is $2,000 and that's really your budget, then that's amazing, right? But let's say your budget is $10,000, but you come with a $500 ring. Now that's some bullshit. Like, don't do that. If you know, like, do what your budget can, because again, it does symbolize the love. I saw something recently, and I don't know who said it, so I'm repeating what I saw online. But the question was, the guy asked the girl, how big do you want your ring to be? And the girl said, I don't know. How close do you want the guy to get to me until he realizes I'm engaged?
Okay. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I was like, so basically the bigger the ring, the further the radius he will stay away, because he will know I'm engaged. But if the ring is so small, he got to get all the way to my face.
Hey, look, that's true, though. When you see the big old giant ring, you be like, leave her alone.
A ring pop is pretty big.
What is?
A ring pop.
What's a ring pop?
Yeah. You know, the candy that is like a ring.
Where are you talking about?
Alejandro, you ain't getting married to nobody. Alejandro wants to be proposed to.
So no, I wouldn't. No, that's too far.
Is that too far? Would you be okay if a woman took the initiative?
I would tell her no, and then if I really like her, I propose like maybe a week after.
I don't want the pressure.
Yeah.
I don't want to, because a guy's always gonna say yeah, because he doesn't want to be that guy that says no.
Some guys will say no. You don't think? I mean,
I don't think.
I've been told I love you first. It's awkward.
It's a tough one.
It's awkward.
I love you first from a girl to a guy is awkward?
No, because then you're put on the spot. And you
do you love her? Did you not love her when she loved you?
I think I did, but I wasn't sure at the moment. So when she said it, it caught me off guard.
I remember 8th grade, my first boyfriend, he could not say I love you, so he said, I want to say these 3 words to you. And it was these 3 words, because he couldn't say I love you. And that was funny. The way we said I love you for a while, was these 3 words.
That was funny. So, Kendra, when you were on the radio, what were some of your best interviews?
Oh, Kanye West.
Talk about it.
Kanye West, oh my God. Listen, I will always love Kanye West. I would tell this. Listen, do I agree with everything that's ever came out of his mouth? Absolutely not. But I don't actually agree with anybody 1,000%. Mm-hmm. So I'm the kind of person, I try to focus on what do I love about that person, and that's how I roll. I focus on what I love about a person, and that's where I stay. Kanye West, oh my God, I feel like back to WBLK, Buffalo, New York, my first major interview was with Kanye. So backtracking, I was living in Connecticut. I used to go to New York for MTV. They used to have like MTV things, and they had this thing in the summertime. It was like you get a producer, you get a record deal for $25,000. And Jess Blaze was a judge, Kanye West was a judge, and somebody else. I can't remember who the other person was. I didn't know who the hell Kanye West was at this time.
Right.
So Kanye's a judge, and the person wins. And typical Kanye West fashion, you know, the winner got a $25,000 record deal. And then Kanye's like, $25,000 ain't shit. You should just give me that money and I'll produce a hit for you, and that will do better for your career. And it's like, who is this guy? Like, who is this guy, right? So fast forward, I get my job at WBLK in December. My first major interview is producer Kanye West at the time. I have a picture. I'll give y'all this picture too. I'm gonna show y'all my producer Kanye West at the time. So Kanye, shout outs to, oh my God, Don C. Don C comes in. Mm-hmm. Kanye has the Louis Vuitton backpack, and you know he's a producer.
Right.
So you know I study in like AD got a list of my information right here. That was me for Kanye. I got my list, and I'm like God, I want to say, was it Vibe? I always get it wrong, because remember Vibe? Okay, Source magazine would rate it with microphones, right? Mm-hmm. So it was Vibe magazine, because it was records. Like, you get like, I think Perfect was 5 and then 4. I forget. But whatever, let's say I think it was 4. Okay. And then 3, Perfect's 4. That's a classic. When Vibe magazine, gave you 4, that's a classic. They gave Kanye 3. And
which album?
This is College Dropout. He doesn't have the album. This is December.
I'm just making sure we know.
Yeah. College Dropout is coming out in February. So it's December of the year. So December 2023.
Got it.
And so I am like, Vibe magazine gave you 3 records. Like, that's amazing. And then he says to me, what you trying to say? My album is the same as Wu-Tang? And I was like, what? Like, I was so caught off guard because I'm thinking I'm giving him a compliment, right? And then he was like, man, I can't wait for my album to come out. I'm going to go on Hot 97 and tell everybody, I told you I'm going to change the music game forever. I'm going to change it forever. I can't wait. And he starts to go in. And at this time, I'm not as seasoned as a host. So he takes over the interview. Like, I am this young girl, and I cannot keep up with him. He's over talking me. Like, I'm trying to talk about songs. He's cutting me off, talk about a different song. And then I was like, we would go to commercial break. I was like, I'm going to get fired because I cannot control this interview with you. He was like, nah, I'll just be passionate. So I remember after the interview, but no, I want to say this, and I'll tell you what happened after the interview. But then what I learned about that interview, what I appreciated from Kanye West, I thought I was giving him a compliment, but he saw him so much. He saw himself bigger than how I saw him, and he corrected me on spot. And what I learned from that is don't let anybody speak over your life. Okay, if it's lower than where you believe you are, correct them on the spot. And he taught me that. And even though I felt like I'm being so embarrassed in this interview because I cannot control this man, he taught me so much. And then, honestly, this is before College Dropout came out. And granted, Kanye West right now during this conversation, there's a lot of things that people will say, but again, what I'm saying is I want it to be clear because I know he's very controversial. I focus on what I love about a person. And what I love about him when it comes to my career, like Kanye will see me anywhere and will acknowledge me, like from the whole trajectory of my career from that time to I ended up being in Chicago, that became a very big part of my life. So I will always have like a real love for him. I just really will. And so he's definitely he stands out. And then in Chicago, I had a major interview with him years later that went viral after the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing of him saying, they asked him about does he think Donald Trump likes black people? Because I was talking about early Kanye. I know Kanye from all the levels of Kanye. I know the George Bush hates black people Kanye to the I support Donald Trump Kanye to I want to be a president Kanye. Like, I've been around that whole journey. But going back to our very first interview, after when you're done with the interview, so people wait outside. So somehow this woman was able to get in the station, was in the lobby. So when Kanye is about to leave, she stops him and she's like, my son is a rapper. He's so good. Like, he just needs to be connected to the right person. And then Kanye is like, okay, go ahead, do some of his rhymes. And then the mother was like, what? Like, I don't know his rhymes. And then with the straight face, Kanye West said, my mother knows all my rhymes. And years later, if you recall, the documentary came out with Miss Donda West, who I had the opportunity to meet and know. You see her in the documentary rapping all of Kanye's lines. And she was alive during this moment. And when the documentary came out, I always tell that story. I haven't told it in a long time. So he was the most impactful because he's one of the people that I knew before big fame. Obviously, he was a famous producer, but now he's becoming the artist, right? So Kevin Hart is another one that stands out a lot to me. When I was in Chicago, Kevin, after the Soul Plane success, he used to drive to different...
Wait a minute. Soul Plane was successmesuccessful?
Yeah.
Soul Plane was extremely successful.
It made it to Puerto Rico.
Soul Plane
I know the movie.
Soul Plane is extremely successful. I mean, it was bootleg successful, but it was successful.
It's a classic.
It's a classic.
No, I know it's considered a cult classic, so I'm not trying to deny the movie, but I don't remember being in the theaters being a success.
Okay, when I say successful, it's a cult classic.
Oh, definitely.
And it put Kevin Hart on the map. That's the movie that really...
That's the one that introduced me.
That's the one that everybody was talking about.
Yeah, it definitely introduced me to
it wasn't Paper Planes for me. It was Soul Plane.
No, even Kevin Hart would say it was Soul Plane. It was Soul Plane. So I just bring it up to say, because you asked me about interviews, I was hosting the morning show in Chicago, and Kevin would drive. I'm happy I got photos for all these stories. Kevin would drive, and like I said, I've always been a hustler, and I love workers and hustlers because hustlers understand each other, right? We understand what it takes. A lot of people just think we wake up. No, there's a lot of work behind it. So I was so impressed that he was literally driving to cities, doing radio interviews, and then he would do like Zanies in Chicago. So out of the morning show, I was the only person that would go to his shows. I'm like, I'm going to go to your show tonight. I'm going to come support you. And he was amazingly funny. But this is why those relationships go a long way. Because to this day, I'm talking about, okay, more than 20 years ago. And to this day, I have a great relationship with Kevin Hart because I was a supporter before A-list Kevin Hart, right? Mm-hmm. And Kevin is really one of those, he's a good person. Like he's
awesome person.
Like he's a good person. Like awesome. He's a hard worker, but really he's a good person. And I really think that's really what his secret to success is, because I think that you're blessed if you get to meet him and talk to him and all those things in real life, because he's really just a good person.
He definitely leads with kindness.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Before we go off Kanye, from when you met him before College Dropout to the Trump interview, do you think that's the same Kanye or something happened?
But listen, here's the thing. None of us are the same. I'm talking about the only grace that we get is that there wasn't a camera on us every single time of our lives from the age of 21 to now. Okay? Right. So I'm not the same person who I was 21 to 46. So of course he's not the same, and he shouldn't be expected to be the same. You know, when we were babies, we crawled. Then one day we started walking. Then we started running. So no, that's why I said it was an evolution of Kanye. And again, I know he's very controversial, and he has said so many things that a lot of people will never forgive him for. And he's probably blackballed in certain ways. But when it comes to Kendra G, I'm going to focus on the love I had for him, the love I still have for him, and the goodness in him. I'm not going to focus on other things I don't like. I am on record saying I do not agree with a lot of things that he said. But my personal career relationship with him, I give him so much credit because, you know, growing up in radio, celebrity relationships are everything. Like the fact that a person acknowledged, like literally if you're at the Grammys, one year, this is a true story, I don't even know if Kanye even knows this, but I was able to walk the red carpet at the Grammys because I was the radio girl from Chicago and Kanye West was like so big at the time. Like literally, like that's how much it spilled into my career. So he's not the same, and a lot of things he did I don't agree with, but I still love him, and I'm always gonna love him.
Because this is the thing about Kanye. Like AD knows I love his music, and every time he says something controversial and then he releases a song, I'm like, but he says stuff, but he doesn't do stuff.
What do you mean?
Like, it doesn't seem like, you know, all the people that, you know, we hear in the headlines in the news, they be doing stuff.
What do you mean when you say doing stuff, though?
Doing bad things.
Oh, doing bad things.
He says bad things, but he doesn't do bad things that I know of.
I think, listen, there's some Jewish people that might have disagreed with you. I think that, you know, everything is subjective. You know, at the end of the day, I will say, I don't even think as I'm growing, the word fame is always going to be hard for me, but popularity, I can definitely sit and I'm becoming more popular and more people know me than, you know, I learned I don't want to be famous. I just want to be rich. I can have the money and nobody can know me and I would be fine. I would be so happy.
How's it dealing with fame?
Huh?
How's it dealing with fame and people?
I don't like it.
And people always on your.
I don't like people thinking they know you for one. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest thing. I don't like people feeling like you always have to be on. Literally, when I was a child, I wanted to be famous. Now I'm okay with just having the money, and I swear to you, I am just having the money, being on a yacht, nobody knows. Like, you know, it could become an invasion of privacy at times. But listen, I want the famous perks. So, you know, there's perks that come with fame, and I don't want to give them up. So it's a catch-22. You try to lean into the goodness of it, but the badness of it definitely is a lack of privacy.
So I know you worked at V103.
I did.
With Ryan Cameron.
Yes.
I actually know him. Yes. He's a really, really, really sweet guy.
Ryan, shouts to Ryan. Ryan is like, Ryan was like my upper class black millionaire friend.
Right.
Like when I was doing V at V103, because Ryan Cameron knows every single body. Like everybody knows Ryan
Especially
Cameron.
in Atlanta.
Oh my God, he knows everybody.
Know
So don't even get, Dr. J. Like, almost Kanye. Ryan would have access, being a part of his morning show was amazing because I got to meet all the elite people in Atlanta, and he's literally like, he taught me so much in radio, like working with him, and he's naturally funny. His interview style, like I learned so much. I worked with Ryan for about 7 months until I got fired.
Why they fire you?
You get fired. I got fired from every radio job except for Chicago. I quit. That's what happens in radio. You get fired.
What, is it because the ratings are bad?
So I felt like, yes, I think our ratings were bad. It was the first. So what happened was, before we took over the morning show, Frank Ski was the morning show for like 15 years at V103. And then Ryan went to morning. So I was a part of the first, like he had a couple of morning shows, but I was part of the first sector. And it's so funny because, again, Kendra's always forward thinking. So, a lot of things is chemistry. And it was a group of us, and I was like the young girl on the morning show, supposed to be like the young girl party life, and I was sneaking off, coming to LA, auditioning with E, and all these things. They had no idea. And then at the end of the year, that December, they decided to do a different format, and then me and the traffic guy got fired, but it was okay because I was coming to LA, I had an audition, and I was shooting a pilot with E that Friday. So I got fired like on a Monday, and they didn't even know I was already coming to LA to shoot a pilot. So I was like, I guess I'll just stay. And I ended up staying in LA for like that year.
And what pilot did you actually shoot?
So it was a show with E. We didn't. It's a pilot. So what happened was the pilot didn't get picked up, but on it, it was God, don't kill me, Danity King. What's her name on Danity King? The girl, the white girl. And these people are so big now. Well, what's the white girl on Danity?
He's gonna tell you in a second.
What's that white girl name from Danity King? You know what I'm talking about, child.
He's about to tell you.
Give it to me. The name.
The white girl.
The white girl, Aubrey.
Aubrey O'Day.
Aubrey, yes. Oh, there was a couple white girls in Danity King, but I'm talking about Aubrey. Aubrey, and then Hassan Minaj. So Hassan Minaj is an Indian comedian who's major. Like Hassan is super major. I have a picture. I'm gonna give y'all all pictures for all my stories. So it was me, Hassan, Aubrey, and then I don't remember the other people, but they're in the picture. But it didn't get picked up. So what happened was E loved me because E was like, we don't know what to do with you. Like, you're kind of like, they thought they were like, you're a comedian, but I was a journalist, but I was funny. And then, so I didn't get that job, but there was a show called Hello Ross with Ross Matthews. And then they gave me an opportunity to be a pop culture expert. He had like a revolving like table. And then I got to be one of his pop culture experts. So I stayed in LA, and then Keke Palmer had her first show with BET, Just Keke, and I became her entertainment reporter. And I was out in LA living that struggle life. I was super skinny because I was so broke. I couldn't afford food, child. So I would work out like I was a trainer because I couldn't. I always knew then I wasn't an actress. I only wanted to do hosting opportunities. And then I was still collecting my unemployment checks even though I was having jobs, child. And I ended up getting an opportunity for 2 radio jobs, Hot 97 in Chicago. And then I ended up going back to Chicago for 8 years until I returned. Yeah. You guys, I really like this interview because you guys are like really asking me like the Kendra G journey, which people don't normally ask.
That's what people want to know.
Yeah.
People want to know your journey.
And then why did you decide to go from Chicago to LA to live permanently?
Well, because like I told you, I was in LA, and then what happened was, like I said, I was broke as hell, and I was like living that struggle life. So then when you get 2 opportunities to go back into radio, because it was like the year I got fired from Ryan, I had the pilot with E, but the pilot didn't get picked up. So I stayed in LA, but then, I got the pop culture job with Ross Matthews. But y'all know this life, these jobs are like 2 months at a time. So then I do this job 2 months. This is where good friends come in to handy. My good friend Jarrett, who is very attractive, was working for TMZ, runs into Keke Palmer, and Keke was like, oh my God, I need an entertainment reporter, to my friend. And he was like, I got the perfect person for you, and thought of me.
That's cool.
What was crazy, and then Kiki at the time, right before I left Atlanta, she was one of the last people I interviewed in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
So now we're fast forward. We're in the month of May. I just lose my job with E because the Ross Matthews show's not coming back. And and then Candy Carter was Kiki's producer for Just Kiki, who used to produce for the Oprah Winfrey Show, who when I lived in Chicago I had met. So I go on Facebook, find Candy Carter's name. I'm like, Candy, Kiki needs an entertainment reporter. Give me a shot. Gives me a shot. Oh, look, I got so many stories for days. Shout outs to, I don't want to say her name wrong because I don't want to say her name wrong because I want y'all, because I don't want nobody to get mad at me. Why can't I think? I got so many stories that it gets me, I get confused. Oh, that's not, hold on a second. I got to get this right. And I'm actually can't even believe I can't remember her name. I want y'all to, is this Kyra? So Kyra, who is now Mike Epps' wife, Kyra was a producer on Just Kiki. So Kyra was like, girl, kill it. Kill your segment. And that's what I did. And then I ended up getting that one time, I became Kiki's official entertainment reporter. And I did that for the summer of whatever that year was, 2014. And then, so your question was, why did I take the job in Chicago? Because I was broke as hell. And I couldn't justify being broke when I had an opportunity to go to Chicago and an opportunity to go to New York, and they were both 6-figure jobs. So as much as I hated it, I had to leave LA because I couldn't live like a struggle person no more. Mm-hmm. But then I came back 8 years later.
Okay. Did you like LA?
I loved LA. I always loved LA. You know, LA is one of those places where you hate it or love it. A lot of people like to visit it, but I'm such a, I'm ghetto bougie. What is that word? Like, about bougie ghetto? Let me tell you something. I'm ghetto and I'm proudly of it, but I'm also very bougie. I need high rises, rooftop pools, you know, AD don't let me eat nothing, so water with lemon, bikini. Like, that is palm trees. That is me. Mm-hmm. That is me all day. So I love LA. Yes.
So you wrote a book.
I did? Oh, God.
That kind of, and I don't know if you agree with this message, but abstinence is cool.
Abstinence is cool, yes.
Abstinence is cool.
Abstinence is cool, yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Makes sense?
It don't sound cool.
Okay, let me break. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna really give y'all props because y'all really did some research on Kendra G. Abstinence is cool is a mission I started when I lived in Philly, and it was basically, when I was in high school.
Were you abstinent at the time when you wrote this book?
Yeah.
That's what we really want to know.
Okay. Oh God. Don't have any of the clips when I'm cleaning my nose. So it was a school year challenge, and then I broke the challenge like the May of the school year. Let me go back to the beginning of the story. What inspired Abstinence is Cool was basically when I was in college, when I was in high school, I did not have sex. I was a virgin all of high school. I didn't break my virginity until college. Okay. But I knew that I was the cool girl. Like, to me, the cool girl was the girl that wasn't sleeping with the guys. And I wanted to change the perception of the girl who's having sex with everybody is the girl that everybody wants to be. No, actually, the girl who's not having sex with everybody is really the cool girl. So I wanted to change that perception. And it was a high school challenge. It started off as a high school challenge. And then I got so many phone calls from parents. They were like, can you make it a middle school challenge too? Had no idea they were having sex in middle school. So I said, absolutely. So it became this very big mission in Philadelphia, and it was like there was so many purity, like there's like this purity movements, but Abstinence was Cool was so dope because we were changing the perception. And because I worked at the radio station, like I literally made it cool. So like all the girls in the organization, they got to come to my interviews, they got to meet Trey Songz, like they got to do so many cool things because I wanted them to know the cool girl's a girl who's not having sex. And yes, I was on a journey with them for the first school year, and then the second school year I met an athlete and it got a little difficult. But I was a grown woman, so I I get a pass. Yes.
That is so funny, man. So you wrote the book. How did the book do?
The book did good. Okay, it's really like, I feel like I'm going on the journey of that movie Slumdog Millionaire, because everything ties into something, and I'm going to tell you how this ties in. So the book came out, I self-published it. It was 2011, and I remember, shout out to Pastor Waller and Enoch Tabernacle Church in Philly. And in the book, I just gave real advice. Like, I talked about, I've talked about this before in interviews, how I was once pregnant in college. I decided not to have my child. I gave that story in the book because I wanted the girls to know, like, listen, y'all, I'm not a perfect girl. The things I'm telling you is things that you can do to prevent being in those positions, right? Mm-hmm. Shout out to my sister who has 2 beautiful children that she had in high school, but there were a lot of things that happened, challenges, she couldn't go away to college like I was able to go away to college, and she was so kind to share her story within the book. So I was really just trying to share like real information with the young girls, and I do this book signing in my church, and the pastor preached on it, and it was so amazing. And then a person in the church came up to me and was like, I love your book so much, I'm going to give you a check for $10,000. Okay. And yes, he was like, I just want you to give your book away. Like, I'm going to buy it and you just give the book away. And this was like, back then I was like, it was black. There were black people. And they were like, someone's going to give me a check for $10,000. And then right after, I end up losing my job in Philly. Remember I told you to get fired from everything. Mm-hmm. Losing my job in Philly, but because I was in Philly for like 4 years, I got a severance check. And so I had this $10,000 plus, like, I think my severance, to me it was a lot of money then, but it was like $6,000. So I had like $16,000. Then I might as well have been a millionaire. I had never left the country. I was like, I'm about to go to London. My mother was in the hospital, and she was dying from breast cancer. Did not know she was dying from breast cancer. Did not know she was dying. I knew, like, in hindsight, it's like she's dying the whole time, but I just think that she's gonna get better. But what I say, you asked me how the book does, the way it tied in is when I released the book, my mom was still alive, and then that book gave me the opportunity to get that donation of that $10,000. And, I get this severance, and I didn't realize God was giving me the money to live off of, because once my mother died, I could not work. Like, I was a mess. I was suicidal. I could not function in life. And I still don't understand how when people die, they only give you, I think it's like 2 weeks for a parent, 3 days for, it's the craziest thing. I was out for the whole year. Like, I could not function, and the first 4 months were the most critical months. So I realized all that money that I had got right before my mother died, it was the money God was giving me to take care of my bills, because he's like, you're not gonna be able to work, so this will be the money that you'll be able to live off of for the next 4 months. It's crazy that I was able to live off of $16,000 for 4 months. Wow, those were the days.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
$4,000 a month?
Yeah. Oh my, I wish.
But you live in LA.
No, I was living in Philly. I was living in Philly at the time.
Oh, you living in Philly?
Yeah.
I was living in Philly at the time. My rent was like maybe $1,200.
Right.
Maybe $1,200. What I would do to have rent for $1,200. Oh my God, I can't make it through a week with $16,000.
And how did you recover from your mom passing away and getting back?
So the only solution to that is time. A lot of times there's nothing but time that can heal those type of things. And I remember when my mother died, I was so mad at God, and God was like, he knew I was gonna be mad at him, and it was a lot of grace given, and it was just time. I think I'm a big breast cancer awareness advocate now, but was not for like the first 3 years, because I felt like my mother didn't survive. So I hated Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I hated anything that reminded me. I hated seeing people with their mothers. I hated Mother's Day. Like, it was very hard. And then literally what I say to that is, you just learn how to live with a broken heart. Your heart you never get over it. It's like you just learn how to live with a broken heart. But my mother's death, and I say this so many times, it's the best and worst thing that's ever happened to me. Worst is very self-explanatory, but best as in it taught me the truth of the meaning of living. Like, I literally watched my mother die. I'm also very grateful that God gave me the opportunity to be with her while she was dying. Because granted, you said, why you always getting fired? Had I not gotten fired from that Philadelphia job, it allowed me to spend the last full month with my mother because I didn't have a job, right? So it was so many things. When God's in it, child, God be really in it, and you have no idea what's happening, right? So I'm so, for the things that I was once mad at God for, I'm so grateful for. Like, when I lost my job, I was like, how did I lose my job? I'm so amazing. I'm great at this job. But, you know, I really do feel like we're in a maze and God is on top, like if we're like a puppet or whatever. He's maneuvering us in the right ways. So as I look back on that story, I'm really grateful for how I was able to be there during my mother's last dying days.
So what led you to start doing lives and connecting single people?
Oh my God. I'm not in a relationship right now, but for the majority, look, that might change, y'all. But for the majority of the time, I'm a relationship person, because going back to when you said, okay, I'm gonna tie into that. Going back to when you said Philly, well, abstinence is cool, I ended up breaking it for my first situation, right? And it was with an athlete, and, you know, he was the first guy I dated after my ex-fiance, and I'm thinking everybody's like my ex-fiance. They want to be in relationships. No, every man do not want to be in a relationship, child. And I remember getting upset because we had been intimate, but we weren't committed. And then I learned that he was dealing with somebody else. And I was like, what in the world? And then he said to me, he was like, well, you're not my girlfriend. And then I was like, well, goddamn. Like,
you didn't know?
I mean, I knew I wasn't his girlfriend, but I wasn't, you know, there is some grace when the girl thinks that this is what we do to lead to that, right? Because he was the first guy I dated after my ex-fiance. So at this time, it's the third guy I've ever dated. I had my high school boyfriend and then my ex-fiance. And then this guy's next.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, my ex-fiance wanted to get married, wanted to have kids, wasn't monogamous. We broke up only because of my ambition, not because of any infidelity.
Gotcha.
So I'm thinking every man's like him, or has that inside of him. So when I met him, I was like, oh, you know, like most girls, this is gonna be my husband. Like, he an athlete. Like, this our own Jay-Z. No, child. He was not trying to be in no committed nothing. Nothing. No committed nothing. But he taught me, because I'm a person, I'm gonna learn the lesson, because I'm not gonna repeat the class.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna learn the lesson so I don't have to repeat the class. So when he told me I wasn't his girlfriend, I was like, okay, bet,
Gotcha.
you're right. So I don't have sex unless you are my man, because I gotta be able to check you.
That's the rule.
Yeah, because you can't check a person if they ain't your man. You could get mad. Your feelings are valid, but you can't literally say anything. Ooh, child, I told you, I'm in the hood now. AD got a lot of money, but he got me recording in the hood, child.
Why are you recording in the hood?
We are in the hood right now. I'm in the hood, people. He taught, yes. So the situationship, he taught me, like, I gotta be in a relationship. I'm only in a relationship if I only have sex if we agree to be in a relationship, because it gets very foggy. Like, sex with benefits and friends with benefits, it gets really foggy. It only really works for the person who doesn't really like the other person that much and doesn't want the relationship, right? So if you are a girl in this example who could just have the sex and don't want nothing more, then it works for you. But if you are a girl who wants to pursue a relationship and something serious, do not participate in it. Make it from the door like I only have sex and relationships. So we do it. Oh, so you're my man, right? Because you want to be able to check him. So back to your original question, how did I start it? I was in a relationship, and this with a person who he pursued me for a year. For a year, he tried to date me. I knew it wasn't going to work because he was very flashy and he had a lot of money, and I felt like I love those things, but I'm a substance person. So he thought the money would be enough. He was my first guy that had a Rolls Royce. I ended up dating. It was like back to back to back. Child, I don't want another man with a Rolls Royce, child. But let's stay focused. So for a whole year, he tried to pursue me. And then finally, I say to him, listen, I'm going to give you a shot, but here's the deal. If we date and we don't work, we're not nothing. We're not friends. We're not anything. He was like, no, I'm ready. He wasn't ready. he wasn't ready. We ended up breaking up during COVID. So it's COVID. Who the hell breaks up with a person during a natural fucking disaster?
You don't.
Huh?
It brings you together, actually.
No, well, it don't bring you together when you got a lot of other hoes you got to entertain and the world is shut down. And you can't lie to your girlfriend.
You don't have nowhere to go.
Yeah, well, you can't lie to your girlfriend about you got to go somewhere because everything is closed.
There you go.
So what happened, we were obviously quarantined together. And then finally, like after like that 7 days, he started an argument. We didn't live together. I had my place. He had his place. But I was just staying at his place because I couldn't go to the radio station. This is in March. So we don't even have masks yet. We're all tuning in, watching. We're learning daily. Like Chicago schools are shut down. Malls are shut down. Don't go to your family's house. Whoever you was with on Monday, that's the only person you need to stay in contact with. It's like literally we're watching like history. We're living in history. So he starts an argument and then he's just like, I don't want to do this no more. And then he wanted to break up. And then I was like, you know, I honestly did not want to break up because it was like, who wants to quarantine by themselves?
Right.
I didn't really like him that much, but I liked him enough to quarantine with him, of course. But he was like adamant. So I was like, okay. So we break up, but I know it was just a play so he could go entertain the other people because he couldn't make up any lies. And I ended up going home with my dog, and D Nice was keeping everybody connected on IG Live.
I remember that.
Yeah, IG Live, D Nice. So, because people always think where I get the inspiration. It really was D Nice. He had us all connected on IG Live. So since I was literally single, I became single, I had a dog, I felt like Will Smith and I Am Legend. And I was like, if I feel this lonely single, other people feel this way. So let me just go on IG Live and connect other single people. And that's what I did. And I knew the first night it changed my life. I knew night one that it would change my life if I took it serious. Because coming from media, it was media gold. First of all, I had already been starting praying to God because radio was so unpredictable. So I was like, I want something, God. I want a new career, but I want to be able to do it until I die. And I felt like with radio, you kind of outgrow stuff. Like when I was 20, I was always in the club. I'm not trying to be in a club at 46 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can outgrow that job. So I was like, I want my next career to be something that I could do until I die. And who knew all of my dating past experience was gonna launch me in like, oh yeah, I know this type of guy because I dated him, or I know this type of person because I dated it, and it really helped. And I wanted to be myself. Anything I could be myself at, because that's really my strongest trait is my true personality. And then it wasn't celebrity based; it was everyday people, which was amazing because celebrities are so hard to get to do interviews, and you know, now with social media they feel no need for it. So that's how Singles Live started. It started in COVID, and look at us now. Look at us now.
How was that first show?
I still have it. It was really, the first show was what did it? I had a white guy from Buffalo, New York, who only wanted a black woman. I had a black guy who told me, I was like, you know, the question was, how many kids you have? He was like, one in a possible. I said, are we playing the game spades? What you talking about? One in a possible. I had a gay guy who was looking for a girl just to have a baby with. He didn't want to be with her. All that happened at night one. So I was like, this is amazing. Like, it's entertainment. Cause when I started Singles Live, I thought everybody was gonna be like, yeah, I'm like, sometimes I get these people, very rarely, the very like well put together, legitimately ready for a relationship. No, I realize single people are single because they're crazy and they're entertaining.
I love the story about the gay guy trying to find a woman to get her pregnant, because my dream is to find a woman.
Oh God.
She gives birth, she gives me the baby, and she's done.
She gives you the baby?
Yeah, like maybe
Did you ever see the mom again?
The mom never appears on the son's life or my life ever again. That's the dream.
Okay, we said you never see wait, I'm so confused.
Okay, let's say I go to, get a girl pregnant.
Okay.
She gives birth. Uh-huh. She gives me the kid.
Okay.
And she just disappears.
So
never see her again.
So what kind of woman would do that?
What? I don't know.
A lesbian. A lesbian girl would do that for you.
Maybe.
Lesbian, because lesbian women, the gay community, they all kind of get together to have kids at times. So there's been lesbian women that will have a baby for her gay friend. Then the gay friend helps her become a mom. So that could happen.
And from your story, this is what I've heard.
Oh God.
Situationship men are the most fun men.
Yeah. He's also he's the co-executive producer of my podcast. Well, the reason I say situationship men are fun is because you're breaking your standard for a situationship guy. Like, I tell women to treat every man like he's ugly, and people get mad, but a woman will understand when I say that, because the ugly guy has to work so hard for the woman. Like, he has to do every single thing because she doesn't find him attractive, and she is like, could care less. You know, like, he ends up getting her because he works so hard. Like, he puts so much time. And I hate the word ugly because ugly is just a terrible word. But maybe I should say a word of a guy you're really just not that into.
Not my type.
Not your type. But the situationship guy usually is your type or exceeds it. So now every rule is gone. Like, oh, I only have sex when I'm in a relationship. Not with the situationship guy. You know, oh, he got a lot of money, so I'm going to do this. You break the rule. And again, if fun is the goal, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to get married, if you want a committed relationship, you have to put every person through that test, because it's one of two things. Either he won't treat you, either he won't be that man for you, or he won't be that man for anybody. You know, because LeBron James is the man for Savannah James. Most people can't get him on the phone, but I'm quite sure she could call him and he's going to answer the phone, and he makes probably $1 million a week. So this whole thing, he's too busy, he's not available. No, he's just that for you.
Right.
You know, and if he's just, and then sometimes it could be just that for you, or that's just him, period. But either way don't work in your favor. So let it go.
Now, what do you think about the mind frame of women these days? Because I think it's really, really changed. It went from, you know, it seemed like women are chasing the same guy, the 5%er and above. They only want to date the guy that has a certain amount of wealth, that's going to spend a certain amount of money and do all these wonderful things for them. Instead of two couples getting together, working hard, and creating a family. It just seemed like it's changed now. That whole narrative is gone.
Well, here's the deal, because I've been, I might need to bring it up to 16,000 people, because I've probably talked to more since then. So I'm gonna start saying I've talked to at least 16,000 people. Yes, social media will have you believe that is the truth for most of the women, and that is a large population. But there's a lot of women that will work with a guy, but I wonder, is that the woman the guy wants? Because going back to what I just said with the situationship, how women are breaking the rules, maybe the 5%er guy, but there's plenty of girls that will work with a guy, but maybe she doesn't fit your attraction level. You know, maybe she's not in your location, in your environment. But I get women who call me up and I get a lot of women who call me up who do well and they want what they want. So you are absolutely right. But then there are women who exist who believe in partnership. But I think they get overlooked. And why are they getting overlooked? Maybe men need to look at character more than just the out exterior.
Yeah, that's fair. And go on.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making
and then the question
effects.
I wanted to ask you, because it's kind of like a question that's on the internet. So, would you date a guy that's rich, but he's going to cheat on you? Or would you switch that guy out for a guy that's faithful, but he's poor?
That's the only two options.
That's it. That's all we got.
I'm a nun. What are you talking about? I'm a nun. I'm in the whites. If those
You gotta pick one.
If those are my two options, I am in the black cape with the white thing on it, and just dedicating life to Jesus, baby. Because well, here's poor in what way? Because first things first, I've dated the rich man that would cheat on me. That doesn't work. And then the other option was what?
The guy you dated the rich man, the guy that's not, he's an average guy. He's an average Joe, but he's never going to cheat on you. He's loyal as hell.
Could you say what a stay-at-home man?
He can't stay at my home. Not as high as my bills are and how hard I got to work. He going to have to do something. Here's the deal. I would say, okay, but you said poor.
Well, not poor, but
he has no
average
money.
guy.
Like, you're the money.
Right, I'm the money. Here's the deal. I've said this a couple times. I can absolutely date a man that makes less money than me. The challenge is he has to date me better than the men who make more money than me. And he doesn't usually win out of those things. It's all about options, right? So if my only option, I'm going to date the best option that I have, right? So I'm not against a guy that makes less money than me, but what I've come to terms, and I had to defend this because I had a real example of this. I remember when I first moved to LA, I had met a guy, and like immediately, and if you get my number, you have a shot, right? Like, you got the number, you have a shot. What you gonna do with it, right? So every now he was slow, like texting here and there, like not setting up, being aggressive, none of that. Like maybe 3 weeks later, I met a guy that, did pretty well. Very aggressive, moved very fast.
Right.
By the time he came back around, I was like, I'm in a relationship. Like, what do you want me to do? So they always say, well, you only focus on me and my money. No, I'm focusing on whoever's working the hardest to get me. And when I've come to terms, I think it's something with a confidence with a guy that has a certain coin, and then, I think I look expensive. So sometimes that could be a little intimidation for some guys who may not make as much. But I absolutely have, I'm not a person that's asking about your money first. Like, it really doesn't work that way for me. But I just learned that sometimes the men with money pursue me harder, so they'll get my attention faster. But I could date a man who makes less. I would not marry a man who makes less. But I could be in a committed relationship long term, but I can't marry you.
Why can't you marry him?
Because marriage is a business, and I work too damn hard. And me and you have had this conversation, and at this level, it's not even about me no more. Like, I love the intro because he was so right. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. So I have to just be able to make sure that I need to know that because if we get married and things don't work, you get my money. What's the time for murder? Because I think before you walk away with my hard ass sacrifice.
That's been happening to men for years.
Well, they dumb. They should have got. Well, hold on. I'm happy we got there. Well, a lot of men forget in those scenarios. Not all the time, but sometimes these are also women that had your children. A man can't bring a baby in the world. So let's just say this is a case of the woman bear your kids, 4 or 5 kids, while you went out to work, and now things don't work out, and she couldn't go out here in this world and make something of her life because she was raising your kids.
That's fair. So I can get into that one.
Yeah. So if he could have the baby, if he could be at home pregnant and push the baby out his penis, then maybe that could make sense, but that ain't how it works. So, I wish I would get married, and then my husband who made less, we get divorced, and he to death do us part. And I'll leave it at that. Let me stop because I don't want this to show up in a courtroom one day.
Now, most of the women that this question is posed to on the internet, they all pick the rich guy.
I think a lot of women haven't dealt with a rich guy. Because if you don't,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's real right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When women,
they're not readily available like that.
No, not even readily available. I've done with some of the most disrespectful shit when I was dealing with rich men, and I mean rich, like millionaires plus, right? It comes with you have to listen. There's no love lost. Shouts to any girl. And I'm not saying every girl has to deal with it, but money is the control, right? So if you have your own money, you can't control me with the money. So what's the incentive for me to deal with your shit? Like, if I'm if I'm genuine and this is what the love is and I can take care of myself financially, if you were if you were paying all my, and I got a hefty bill monthly, then maybe I could turn the other cheek, but that was never the experience. The experience for me is you got money, I got money. So you can't manipulate me with the money, and the disrespect literally wasn't worth it for me. So I really believe a lot of women who say that never dealt with a rich man, because if they did, they would not be saying, because they'll call me up and they'll say things, he got to make a lot of money, he got to go to church, he got to be faithful. and I'm not, and I hate, and I don't want to put a bad rap on men with money, but we're in a different, the dating book is different. Like, rich men have a lot of women who want them. They're on social media, unless he's really, really into you, like a Russell Wilson, but also Russell Wilson is married to Sierra, who I would say is one of the top 5 black women on the planet. Like, he did not marry a regular girl, so she's not regular either. And also, Sierra gave him 3 kids and about to give him a 4th. You know, like, I think people don't also listen. Russell Wilson is an amazing man, but he got an amazing girl. So it's like, when you say you want a Russell Wilson, are you Sierra?
Right.
Like, you know, like don't, like, look who he chose. So I say all that to say, so I brought them up because I believe he's extremely faithful, a happy family man. His character's there. But some rich men, I know a lot of rich men who are literally rich, millionaire plus club, black, but some of them don't want to get married. So now you have that pool of, yeah, they have the money, but no desire of marriage. So you got to find the one that desires marriage. And then why does he choose you out of the 15,000 girls? And yes, it's 15,000 girls. I own a dating app. I know the data. You know, like, I know the data when he's not even a millionaire plus. Let's just go to 100K plus. So, and not to be discouraging, but I do believe, because you were asking me about money and all those things, my favorite relationships really are the ones you can kind of build something together.
Me too.
Like, those are the best, because you know you have that genuine camaraderie. Am I saying the word right?
I just think everybody respects each other.
Yeah.
Because they all contributed to them getting to this point in their life.
Right.
So I just think, yeah, definitely building it together is way better than someone walking into a fortune. Right. Because that's just so different.
But I want you, before you forget, I want to just add this. But character outweighs money for me. I will say that. Character, like, I have to be able to trust you. I have to be able to, you know, all those things are very important to me. But you just can't be broke. So, I mean, it's just like, I live in, like, you know, it's just like, and broke is subjective. But I'm a person, like, you know, I believe in dreamers, but, like, because I'm literally a dreamer, right? If you have, like, a sure plan, because I've met some people that had the potential, but I'm like, and I'm here to support your dream, but I'm like, you're not going to get nowhere, boo-boo. Like, I'm trying to give you the tips. You don't want them, so, and they not nowhere. What was you going to say, Alejandro? I'm sorry.
I have a question for you. Since you already built it, can
I
you?
know this answer.
What?
You already built whatever, you know, your
I'm not done.
Yeah, but can somebody?
You are a good
Can
position.
somebody really, at this point, can anybody walk in and not be an add-on? Like, it's already, you know, the foundation is built for you.
Oh no, they can't really contribute and do anything. That's a lie. That's not gonna happen.
That's because, listen.
That's not gonna happen.
Well, that's because that's not the girl you're seeking.
Coming, where Oprah at? She downstairs?
It gotta be Oprah?
It's gonna be tough.
What about Kim Kardashian?
Kim? Kylie Jenner?
Huh?
Kylie Jenner?
Would you go white?
Huh?
Would you go white?
I want my kids to be athletic.
You want your kids what does that mean? White people can't have athletic kids? What the hell? Oh my God.
I was just joking. No, but I don't know. I don't really like Kim and all those people. I think those are very beautiful women, but I just find value in other things.
Yeah, I know. And that's what a lot of people do. Like,
yeah,
Do you prefer being with a woman that needs you or wants you?
That is such a fucking great question, and I'm so surprised it came from you.
I got one episode.
I know his answer.
But this is what it is. Most men want their wife to need them to a certain degree. Period. Because men need to feel needed in the relationship. They just do.
I agree with that, and I'm gonna add, and I might get some pushback, but I think also it has a control factor. I think some of the
men can give it. Okay, but go on.
Well, because some of the times when I was talking about in relationships with men, I did well. I have relationships with men who did pretty well. They were used to getting their way with women because most of the time the women needed them for financial reasons. So what happens when you have a girl who does not need you for your money? all you can do is be genuine, faithful, and loyal. And sometimes they learn like, shit, that's harder than just giving her money. I'd rather just had a girl who I could just pay for peace than the girl who I don't have to pay anything for, but now I gotta be 100 genuine and faithful to. So I challenge that. No, I agree with you that men want a woman that needs them first because it gives them some type of control over her.
I don't think it's really control. Men are used to giving up control. They don't mind letting
How do men give up control?
They don't mind because they know they're in control. Like, if I feel like I can take over at any moment and do whatever I want to do, then I could do it. Then I feel like I have some form of control. Men are okay with letting women run a certain aspect of their life. They're okay with it. Okay. What time's dinner? Oh, it's 8 o'clock. You need to be here. Okay. What time's the reservation? Oh, can you pick me up here? And like, women do have some form of control, but men, I think, ultimately want to have the final decision. Like, okay, we're going to move over here to Beverly Hills because of blah, 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 blah. And the prices are better on the houses or whatever that may be. They want to be able to make certain decisions, but they don't need to make all of them.
Okay.
They just don't.
Okay.
What led you to create a dating app?
Once I saw how well the show was doing on social media, because, we started on Instagram, and then really, I was trying to take off on YouTube because everybody was like, you got to take off on YouTube. And YouTube was just not taking off. 2020 was the year of Instagram. I remember it was like September 2021, we took off on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So Facebook hit for me before YouTube. And then what I learned with Facebook was like one of those things where everybody got their own cult, but Facebook is like the old aunties club and the grandmamas.
It is.
And like they don't do this little whipple-stopper Instagrammer. Like they say in their own little Facebook world. But what happened was Facebook, my show, people would create accounts because I would go to Instagram and I would go to Facebook. And people wanted to see the show. So then I found people on Instagram were going back to Facebook just for my show. And then people on Facebook were coming to Instagram just for my show.
Got it.
So I was like, okay, well, I need to own the platform that y'all gonna be willing to go to. So just always being a forward thinker and wanting to be an owner. 2022, so this is 2 years in, the idea was like, it's time to create your own dating app. And who knew that was gonna be a journey, child? Dating my own dating app, creating my own dating app was no easy challenge. Luckily, I did not know the journey because I probably wouldn't have did it. I thought it was going to be so easy. I met a company I was looking for. I was like, I just need a software company and, make me a dating app. I'm going to beat Tinder out. And I went to these companies and they were getting people in India. Like they was in America, but they were outsourcing India. And I was like, I'll just go straight to India because it's cheaper. And then the first company was like, we could build your dating app for $40,000. So guess what? I never got. They never produced it. Then you think you get your. That's why I say you gotta learn a lesson. So I was like, that was just the wrong India company. I go to another India company. We can make it for 40K. No, 45K. So they did better than the last one, but still didn't produce no damn dating app. And it took all the way and was like, okay. And now I have my current dating app, which costs more than that in a month. Right. now that I know what I know, right? So it was a smart business move, and my dating app is very unique. We're the only dating app with the live show that allows you to meet everybody within the show. So
I think that part is so cool.
Yeah, you know what? So we're in that's the key factor.
Right, that brings them in right there.
Yeah, that brings them in. Actually, I'm gonna have to do my show from here during this interview, child. So hopefully we have something I can hold my phone.
We're gonna put you downstairs in the conference room.
But I have to hold my phone up with though?
He said he has a tripod for that.
Okay, so you can see how it works live from the app.
Okay, I love it.
Yes. Oh, and we're at the this is perfect because we're at the DHERBS studio. I'm like in the factory. This is really good. Okay.
So the one thing I also wanted to ask you about, what was your feeling on Kevin Samuels?
I liked Kevin Samuels until I did an interview with him.
think everybody likes him until that interview.
So I talked about this recently in my first podcast episode. So I was on IG. Kevin Samuels was on the YouTube world, didn't know anything about him. And I started on IG like in April 2020. November of that year, he had that clip that went viral, Average at Best. And, you know, by this time, I'm like 6 months in of hosting my show, and I'm hearing all these women, and I'm super kind. The way my style is, I ask enough questions that help you get to your own answer. Instead of just telling you you're never going to get it. I'll ask you the questions that might lead to that direction. So nevertheless, you know, he was straightforward, like no holds bar. And, you know, his whole Average at Best started this whole new conversation. Like, what? Average at best? And I was DMing him. I have these DMs to this day. And I was like, I host a dating show. I would love for you to come on. And we were talking in December. He started doing a show on Instagram, and he just really took off. Like, I remember when he came to Instagram, I had more Instagram followers, and then he just passed me so fast. And I was in a relationship when I was trying to get him on the show. He became so massive, never worked. We had agreed January 2nd of the following year, and didn't happen. So then I was like, I'm just gonna go on his show. And so I called his show up, and I was kind of I wanted to take the narrative of the man with money, because I knew that man, and I felt like a lot of women, I was like, y'all don't really want this man. But then it kind of became about me, and we could not get on the same page. And I was the one thing I knew he was good at was hanging up on people. So I was like, I'm going to not be outspoken Kendra, because he ended up still hanging up on me. But if you watch me in that interview, I was very composed, very not. Like, my dad was literally mad at me, because he's like, you're not even like that. Like, you should have went off. You should have cussed out. Like, for one, he wasn't married, and I never said that, like, in the interview, what I knew. And I could have just easily said, but the thing is, see, this is the thing I will say about Kevin Samuels, and I'm not married, and single men are always bringing that up. I'm like, sir, you're single. And I do still stand on the men who I know are married do not talk like Kevin Samuels. They don't talk because you can't get a wife being like that and just acting like a woman is just be lucky to be on your arm. And I would argue that if that's the style that you want to go after, you know, so be it. May he rest in peace. I'm not a spiteful person, but I don't think most men really want to end their life the way his life unfortunately ended.
Right.
You know, and I think that's the part people like, listen, he definitely sparked this conversation. Like, no ifs, ands, buts about it, about women. Like, I don't even know if he made up 6 figures or the 100K, but it became a thing, you know, so I'm going to give him his credit for the spark of this conversation. But when I tell you, I got so much hate after going on a show, and I felt like he had a following of bitter men who are not happy in their own lives. You
think it was bitter men?
Oh my God, let me tell you something. So one thing, I used to talk about it so free. Like, I froze my eggs, right? And I tell women all the time, freeze your eggs. You don't know, like, if you want to have a baby, haven't met somebody yet. I had that. People would come to my comment section and say, nobody wants you and your frozen eggs, and you're never gonna. And like, now it's like, now I'm so strong, like nothing bothers me. But back then I was like, what the fuck? Like, and I was attacked for 2 months, like literally 2 months. I was getting men saying the most disrespectful, harsh things. And when I come to terms is, men are really projecting, because women really do know how to live happy single. Like, they got girlfriends, they got passports, they travel in this world. The girlfriends, like, they in non-sexual lesbian relationships. Like, you know, they don't have sex together, but you got your girlfriend who's checking on you. You going to dinner, you going to brunch. Okay, let's go to Jamaica. Single girls are really living a happy life. You don't see I have a lot of gay guy friends that do things like that, but it's hard for straight guy friends to live their best life. Like, most of them want a woman, and if they can't get one, they become sexually frustrated. They're bitter. You know, everybody has a microphone now. And it's like, sir, you're upset because you don't have a woman. Like, that's what it all comes down to. Because if you had a woman that was loving on you, you wouldn't have time to have all this anger inside of your spirit. Like, your spirit is so hurt because you're really like, I know this projection from these men is really hurt, but men don't have the luxury of expressing pain and sadness and depression, but it comes out in their aggression. And I know that you're really a hurt man who's upset with your life, and this is the way it's coming out of you.
So do you think that, so what do you think is, why aren't, it seems like people aren't getting married today.
Why
I
would
think
they?
That's what I'm trying to, that's what I'm asking you.
Okay, well, listen, first of all,
it just seems like people aren't getting married. People are okay with being single, and there's less families and the whole thing.
Okay, well, let's just break down marriage. First of all, I believe in marriage, okay? When marriage was high, it literally was a woman's only option, right? There was a time when women couldn't get a bank account, and she couldn't even get a house in her name. And
the good old days. I'm just playing.
But listen, there are men. So and also it wasn't socially acceptable to have kids and really not be with the guy, right?
Right.
So that's when marriage was really high. And I think, well, you said the good old days, but for a lot of men, because that's when men had so much power. Like, because it was one of those things where back in the day, men have been men forever. I always say that. It's just now there's social media, so they can't cheat in peace. You know, like like the only time you saw the other family was the funeral. Like, you know, but you have to watch her on Facebook. It's one thing when, you know, Big Junebug got the woman down the street, but imagine the woman down the street gonna post the plate of the fried chicken and the macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes that she done made for him, and you like, oh, hell no, ho, you going too far. Mm-hmm. There was no Facebook for the side woman to be out there and express herself, right? So it was a way men did things back then, and they had the luxury because there was no social media. So now there's a lot of women who would probably tolerate more if social media wasn't a factor. It's that embarrassment factor. Like when a woman's dealing with a man, and a lot of times she knows who she's dealing with. It's just now you got to deal with the world knowing what you're dealing with, and how do you stay with this man? The perfect example of this is Mariah the Scientist. Like Mariah the Scientist went as far as she could go with Young Thug, you know, but it's the embarrassment factor of you're getting all these jail audios, and now he promised a girl a baby. Now you got the audio of him telling his friend, I wish she ain't love me that much. You got the audio of him saying that, oh, I cheated and she thought it was before I went to jail. It was the day before I went to jail. Like, it's the embarrassment factor because no one's gonna respect you anymore if you stay with that man. Now, there's some women who don't give a damn, and that's the Rashida Kirk. Rashida don't give a damn what y'all got to say about her relationship. She said, I don't care what y'all say. She is strong. And listen, you like it, I love it. I respect that. I'm never telling a girl to leave her man if she asks me my opinion, then I'll give you my opinion. But outside looking in, I'm not invested in what you do with your man, because you can't move in with me. Okay? Right. You can't move in with me. I'm not gonna help you raise the kids you have with him. So if you gotta stay with him because of your own reasons, that's your business. Like, if it wasn't for social media, we wouldn't be connected anyways. So going back to the original question about marriage, I think that when women started to be able to make their own money, when, you know, social media came, you know, when I ask people, ask me what they want, they'll say passport is a requirement. And I had to, like, that's a new dating requirement. Like, it's 6 figures and a passport. Mm-hmm. That was not a requirement in 1950. Like, there was no salary requirement, or you got to have a passport requirement unless you were super famous, super celebrity. Like, now it's like you gotta have a passport. You gotta make as much money as, like, you know, women are doing well. So if I make $90K, you better make $90K. So it made it to a point where the things that held marriages together are no longer there for some. People still get married. You know, of course, it's not obsolete, but there are a lot of people who are saying, I'm good. Like, I'm happy. Like, I'm not married and I'm so okay. Like, if I died tomorrow and I was never married, that would not bother me at all.
I wanted to talk to you about your game that you created.
Oh, we got it. Okay, we there.
Yeah, because I know you have some questions prepared for us.
Okay.
But can you talk a little bit about your game before you...
Yes. So what camera? Is this the camera?
Yeah, that is.
Kendra G singles the card game, and the tagline says, "Who says being single can't be fun?" And that's the whole purpose, because people act like single life is depressing and sad. No, single season can literally be your best season. So I wanted to create, and the thing is, I play this game with married people, and it works. So even though it's a singles game, if you are married or in a relationship, you can still participate. So the way it works is we have shot glasses. So if you don't want to, with AD, you can't drink alcohol, child. Only thing, if it ain't come from grass or a tree, you can't eat. So you can't drink alcohol with AD. But if you are not with AD and you can drink, you're now on the DHERBS cleanse, you could drink. Okay, so the way it works is you would take a shot if you don't want to answer the question.
So it's only 4 people play at once.
No, it's only 4. No, everybody got to get 4. Listen, 4 shot glasses come with the damn game. Now, if it's 10 of y'all, 6 of y'all get your own damn shot glasses. Or
okay, I was just making sure.
I may have some liquor in here.
Oh, you do? Okay, get some liquor. Okay, you got some liquor?
Yeah.
Let's play it for real. It's for y'all. It's for y'all.
Here we go.
It's for y'all. I'm gonna ask. It's so many ways to play this game, but when I do it, I ask the person the question. So I wonder, is it like you pick the question? But we're gonna get some alcohol. Okay.
So, we're not sponsored by them, but we got some.
Okay, you got some. Okay.
Some Don Julio Tequila Blanco.
Okay, so do me a favor. Pour it,
excited.
and then you guys both will take. It's gonna be for y'all. So pour it in each. Here, Alejandro, you and AD. Do you drink, AD?
Listen, I as the Romans, I'm a Roman.
Okay.
When in Rome.
Okay, because I'm not drinking because I'm on the DHERBS cleanse.
Okay, so
you ready?
I just poured our shots.
Okay. You ready? So there's 3 categories in the Kendra G singles card game.
I'm scared.
You have time. Well, I pre-picked out some questions. There's like 100 and I think that we have 150 questions in this card game. We have tell me the truth, risky business, and act it out. But we're gonna do a lot of tell me the truth. So AD and Alejandro, I pre-selected some questions that I think would be good for y'all. So if you don't want to answer the question, you got to drink the shot. Okay?
Oh, God.
All right. Ooh, I'm going to do this for AD. This question always comes up. I did this one on television too, but I want to hear. I know AD. His answer better be yes. Here it is. Have you ever bought a plane ticket for someone you were dating to come visit you?
Absolutely.
If so, take a shot. How many plane tickets you bought, AD?
I bought a lot of plane tickets. If I had to drink for every plane ticket, then I might not live through that.
Okay, listen. Was it a requirement for her to give you some when she made it to you? Was sex a requirement?
Absolutely not, because I ain't player.
Oh,
that's not a player.
That's not a player?
Did you ever buy a plane
That's trash, actually.
Have you ever bought a plane ticket to a girl you haven't had sex with yet?
That's what he said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can I say I've been flued out, but in the flued out moments early on, I would always make it clear I wasn't going to be intimate.
That's dope, though.
Because
to say it up front is dope. But for me, I wasn't even tripping on that. Listen, I get to a point. It drives them crazy when you don't apply pressure.
Yeah, I had met the guy in Chicago, but he lived, we met, and 2 days later he lived in Cabo, so he was leaving to go to Cabo. So really, our second date was he was in Cabo. So I was like, listen, I have no problem coming, but technically it's our second date and I'm not going to sleep with you. So do you still want me to come? And he was like, yeah, come. And of course he tried it though, because but why?
He's supposed to try.
He's not supposed to try it.
He's supposed to try.
No, he's not.
Trying I don't have a problem with. You can try.
If I tell you I'm not.
If someone... No, but women be pump faking.
Drinks is flying. You never know.
Hey, women be pump faking.
Yeah.
He was on the what's that Muslim fast? He was Ramadan and he wasn't drinking.
Okay, but he wasn't drinking. Were you drinking?
I don't remember. But either way,
if he tried, that's fine. It's just whether or not when you say stop, does he stop? That's the most important part.
I felt like it ruined our trip because
damn. Yeah,
because I said no, and then when he tried, I was kind of disappointing because it's now it didn't happen, and we made. The great thing about it was my first time ever in Cabo, and I planned a photo shoot for myself, and I had the best time with that. But okay, Alejandro, you're next. Okay. Alejandro, put these in order from most important to least. Intelligence, looks, money, faithfulness.
Okay.
So most important to least, intelligence, looks, money, and faithfulness.
Number 1, faithfulness.
Okay.
I don't want to share a girl.
Okay.
Number 2, looks.
Okay.
Number 3, money.
Okay.
And what was number 4 again?
Intelligence is last.
Intelligence, exactly.
Okay, AD, you do it. Okay. Most important to least, intelligence, looks, money, and faithfulness.
God, this is so sad for me. Definitely. So how do you know she's unfaithful? Or we just know that?
We're pretending like, okay, first of all, there are some girls you might date that is not only going to be your girl. So
those people exist?
Of course.
Okay, so I would say looks.
Looks is first, okay.
Faithfulness.
Okay.
What was the other two?
Intelligence and money.
Intelligence. Money dead last.
Money's last. Okay, so
I could care less if they got some money. I got some money.
Okay. Talking that big talk, AD DHERBS. All right, let me do it since I think this will be good. So faithfulness is first for me because I feel like that's the number one reason why I've left men. Okay, so I would say faithfulness has to be most important. I'm going to go with looks before money.
Okay.
Because if you have money and I can't look at you, it's not going to work. Like, I have men that have money, and sometimes they're older, but I'm like, baby, like, no, you can't, this ain't going to work. So I'm going to say looks. This is the truth. I'm going to choose intelligence over money. Let me tell you why. Because if you got the intelligence, you're going to get to the money.
But you just sat here and during this process said, you said you are not, if he makes less than you, you're not marrying him.
I would marry, okay, marriage to me is a business. Marriage at 46 is business. Marriage at 20 is a whole different conversation.
Okay, that's
because
fair.
marriage at 20, you're starting a life with.
That's a joint business? It's a joint venture?
Yeah, it's a joint venture. You might plan to have kids together. Y'all going through the ins and outs together.
Okay, that's fair.
Marriage at 46 for me is a business transaction.
Got you.
That's why I say, but can I have the Halle Berry plan? Be posted up with my man, enjoying life. Absolutely. Like, she's extremely happy. We know he ain't no Oscar Award winner man, but he's successful in his own right, but she's enjoying life. I could absolutely do the Halle Berry plan, but I can't. I think
it took her to mature to appreciate that kind of a guy. No,
it took her all the men that she dated and married and lose money to these house husbands. That's why you ain't gonna be I'm telling you, I ain't gonna have no house husband, because you ain't gonna get my money. You gonna see Jesus. And then I'm like, Your Honor, we don't even need a trial. I killed him. Like, this is a double. Like, what come with killing a man who tried to take my money? To me, it's actually self-defense. If you ask me, let me not get off tangent. But the thing about intelligence, if you're intelligent, you're gonna get to the money.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go faithfulness, looks, intelligence, then money.
Got you.
Yeah.
So if I wouldn't have answered the question, that means I had to take a drink.
Yeah.
Then why did you have to take the first drink?
But okay, all of them are not shots, but this one you answer. But if you don't answer, you gotta take a drink.
Got you.
Y'all want to do any more or what?
Yeah, I
like
the game.
You like this game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is kind of I'll ask it. Could you date someone who doesn't believe in marriage?
Yeah, I can.
So you don't want to get married?
I'm on the fence about it.
So you would have kids without being married?
Yeah, I would.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I'm not having kids.
Without being married.
Without being married.
So
I'm not doing that.
Could you date somebody? Do you want to have kids?
Yes.
So that means, what's your answer? Could you date someone who didn't believe in marriage? No.
I'm not dating her.
Right. I could now.
Because I think it's odd that a woman doesn't want to get married.
What if she tells me the same spiel I would tell her? It's like, we're together. That's not good enough. We live together.
How is it odd that a woman doesn't want to get married?
Because marriage is a social construction. It's all made up.
Here's the deal.
If we're together, we're together.
I think a lot of women, here's the deal. A lot of women want the wedding day and the ring, but do they want the job title that really comes along with marriage? And I think I would challenge, a lot of women don't want the job responsibilities that come along with a wife, but do they want the white dress? Do they want the big party? Do they want everybody to love on them? Do they want the ring? Do they want to say that they're a wife and that they have a husband? Absolutely. But do they want to make the sacrifices that wives make? See, I have always looked at marriage for the sacrifice I would have to make. And literally, and I stand by it, if I get married, my husband's first to everything. Like, nobody will come before my husband, not even my company, not my business, not my friends, none of that. That's I'm giving you my life. So that's not an easy thing that I just, because I want a white dress, you get to have my life. I'll buy my own fucking white dress. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think when you think of all the things of what marriage really means and not the glitz and the glamour, then you can understand why some people won't want to get married.
So would you, Kendra G, would you date somebody that doesn't want to get married?
Absolutely, I could. I could date somebody that didn't want to get married. He would have to be faithful, though, because we could be in a committed relationship, and if he didn't want to get married, I'm okay with that.
See, the girl that don't want to get married, I'm not marrying her. Because that's a weirdo. To me, I look at that girl. No, I'm not saying that you're a weirdo. I'm just saying, for me, I think I can't imagine that. I didn't think women actually thought like that.
Well,
so that would be so shocking for me.
This is 46-year-old Kendra.
No, I get that.
Right.
And I took that in consideration with your answer. Yeah. I got it.
Because what I say is, I talk about my ex-fiance engagement, but there's been other opportunities when I could be married.
Easy.
But the issue is, would I be happy? And I feel like when you get married, the person who they are is who they are, right? And marriage don't change anything. Like, you have that wonderful day, of course, but who they are, who they are. So yeah, I'm a wife, but am I spiritually being broken down every day? Yeah, he got money, but do I feel good in this expensive car knowing he might be doing something else that I don't feel spiritually well in? So for me, again, when you think about all the sacrifice, again, a lot of men sometimes want these they want the really, really beautiful girls. And it's like, but do she really want to ruin her body to have your baby?
Nowadays, they don't want to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She'd be like, well, can we have a surrogate?
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the hell?
That's a lot of money.
That's very popular in LA.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's about $200,000.
$200,000 for a surrogate?
Yeah.
God damn.
Between $170,000 to $200,000, but it's very common in LA. But back to the point. So then that girl, because her body is but this is the reason why you also chose her. But her body her attraction is her currency. So is she cashing that in to be your wife?
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, Alejandro, this is for you. Audition your best sexy dance moves in front of the group. Do you want to do a sexy dance move for us?
I'm so glad you got this card.
Let's see what you got, Alejandro.
No, he just drinks some alcohol.
Okay, he drank. He's not going to do it. Okay. He passed.
I'm one of the few Puerto Ricans born with.
Nobody could be happier than me that he decided not to dance. He was never living that one down.
We'll do 2 more questions and that's it.
Right.
Okay. So this one, y'all can both answer. But I'll start with you, AD. Have you ever stayed in a relationship even though the sex was trash?
Dun, dun, dun.
How long?
Well, period. Did you stay in a relationship and you knew the sex wasn't great?
I've done that. Not for a very long time.
Not for a very long time.
Why you stay?
No, you gonna dump them right after you have sex with them and then you realize it's trash?
But how many times did you have sex?
It was up there. It was trash.
It was trash?
It was trash.
I never understood how could a woman's sex be trash. I feel
it's possible.
It's possible?
It's possible.
Oh, no. Okay.
Sometimes, you know what it is? Sometimes there's women that think they really doing it. Like she thinks she really killing it. But I'd be like, I've been around the world.
See, that's the shit. I don't like. Let me tell you something. I've said this time and time again. I'm not competing with you men that have been around the world. Go get you a porn star.
Yeah, I've been around the world.
Listen, I'm not doing backflips and all those freaky things that those girls do all around the world. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
What about you, Alejandro? Can you stay in a relationship Can you stay in a relationship even though the sex is trash?
No.
No.
I'll even take it further. I remember I had a girlfriend in high school.
Okay.
She was pretty, but I didn't like her shampoo or there was something she was wearing very fruity. I hated it. Couldn't stay.
You couldn't stay
because the smell is very
crazy.
Oh my God.
And I didn't have the heart to be like, oh my God, can you change? It's not that she stunk. It's like I just didn't like the fruity smell.
Yeah, it's like I'm not into fruit.
I could.
Yeah,
you could. If everything else was right. If everything else was right and everything else was great, and you know, because there's so many things you could do nowadays. Like they got toys and stuff. But if everything else was good, like he's this faithful man, my ride or die, my partner. And let's just say, like, maybe it don't start off the greatest, and then as time goes, who knows? I could, but everything else got to be right. Like, you can't have, like, that can't be bad and everything else bad.
You didn't cross your T last night. It's over.
You better know how to cook.
You gotta, everything else got to be good. Okay, last one for us. All right. Okay, back to the marriage question. This is going to be a good one for you, AD, because you want to get married. Yeah. And I'm assuming when you get married, you're going to be faithful.
Of course.
Okay, so here's your question.
I didn't know. I was looking down. I figured that was, goes without saying. Goes without saying.
Some husbands are not faithful. Let's not have that conversation.
Black men don't cheat. Everybody knows that.
There is a rumor that black men do not cheat.
You know, what they say to that is black men don't cheat, black boys do. So that's how that gets weighed out.
Okay.
But here we go. After 6 months of marriage, your significant other gets into a tragic accident and can never have sex again. What do you do?
Ooh.
You know what I would do? First of all, I don't believe in leaving people high and dry. I really don't. So now the question is, since she can't have sex, is she going to allow me to have sex with other people?
So you would have to have that conversation with her.
I would definitely have that tough conversation, but I would never leave her high and dry where she wouldn't be able to get the medical attention obviously that she needs because she's incapable of having sex. I would take care of that person probably for the rest of their life.
What's that famous black woman's name that went through that? Her husband took care of her until she passed away. It was a big story. A lot of people were very upset that her husband was dating some white woman. I'm about to pull her name up. Was it Beverly? Beverly. I can't remember. This is important. I want to bring it up because Beverly's husband I think her name was Beverly. Was it the black man? Oh, shoot. I put Beverly Hills came up. Famous black woman. Husband dates dates white woman while she's sick. She is sick. It's like literally B. Smith. So B. Smith, and y'all can look it up. B. Smith is she's since passed on, but her husband, I forget what she was dealing with. But he had to take care of her, but he had a white girlfriend. And, you know, the internet was not feeling it at all that he was, and she was...
was she okay with it?
She was like dementia. Like she...
Oh, she had dementia.
Yeah, she had like, I don't want to say
Alzheimer's, it says.
Okay, Alzheimer's, yeah. Did she pass away? Oh, yeah,
she couldn't catch him cheating anyway then.
You're making a joke, but it was one of those things where... has she passed on?
She passed away.
Yeah. So it was a big story because she had Alzheimer's, so she couldn't really decide. But I forget how it became a public story, but it became a public story. But it was exactly what you said. Like, he took care of her. He did not leave her, but he had this white woman. Well, I'm saying white woman because obviously that was a big thing for the people. But had a woman, and she lived in the house and all those things.
Oh, she lived with them.
Yeah, it was like they were together, but his wife, was in another room to take care of her. So it was like, but that's kind of what you just said you would do.
I wouldn't move nobody in. That's too much. I ain't gonna throw it in her face like that. But I definitely would have had another relationship going on.
But see,
you gonna say she wasn't gonna remember?
Let me tell you why that answer is not acceptable. Marriage
why is that not acceptable?
Because marriage is till death do you part, to sickness or health. So if you're gonna get married, that's what you sign up for. Now, unfortunately, that's what you sign up for. Not unfortunately, but that's the vow of marriage. And this again, why I go back to how I take marriage so serious, because if I got married and that happened, it is what it is, because I've decided it's me and you, and that's just what it comes down to. I might do some self-pleasure, but I'm not going to go out with another man if that's what I signed up for. And that's supposed to be the only answer if you get married. Marriage vows are till death do you part. to sickness and health. And now this is a sickness part that happened 6 months in, but that's what you signed up for, Mr. I Want to Be Married.
My question is, let's reverse the scenario. You can no longer perform. Would you let your woman...
Oh, Alejandro, come on with it. I love that question.
I'll be like, yeah, go out there and kill it.
You liar.
Dead serious.
You are lying, AD.
Dead serious.
You are not...
I'm an equal opportunity guy.
You pay all the bills.
What, so she not going to have sex ever again in life? Why would I put her through that? Why would I? Because we already know what she going to be doing, sneaking around the house? Nah, guess what? Let's not do that. I know she takes her date every Wednesday, and I see you later on the night. I'm not even tripping.
You say that now as a man who is not in that position, but if you are, God forbid, this happens, you're paralyzed down to the ground.
I'm not.
You will let your...
Absolutely. Go live it up.
Well, long story short, we see that the Kendra G singles dating app game or card game is fun.
Absolutely. I loved it. I loved it. And it got tough questions in there and really thought-provoking questions.
Yeah, there are some freaky questions in there, but when we did the first test, I was like, my audience, they want more of the thought-provoking questions.
Right.
So we did it for that, with that in mind.
Okay, and how are the sales? How's it going?
Okay, so it's gonna launch. When is this?
Oh, it hasn't launched yet?
It hasn't launched yet, no.
Oh, this is the premiere?
This is one of the premieres, yes.
I love it.
It was supposed to launch. People said, why didn't it launch in August, like our scheduled date? Because of Donald Trump. And he has new taxes that we weren't aware of.
Oh,
that actually
it's made in China?
Yes, that really halted our game. But we believe, we're going to start pre-sales actually very soon because it's going to be available for everyone. Pre-sales going to be available soon. It'll be available November 1st, just in time for Christmas.
Listen, when it goes on sale, I'm buying the first copy. I want the first. I just want you to sign it.
Well, you can get the first copy soon because I'm getting a new sample box soon.
Right when it comes, sign me up.
Man, the last time I played one of those card games, I got lucky.
Oh, you got lucky?
I'm definitely buying that. It helps break the ice.
Yeah, it's fun. And men can play it. See how men can play it? It's not just for women.
Oh, yeah.
It's really a conversation
And I love
starter.
the drinking part.
Yes, you can drink if you don't want to ask the question. I love it. So I pre-selected those questions, but there are, for the people who want to be so freaky, child, we do have some of those in there. Like dare questions. They're like the dare questions.
Nah, that's super cool. Okay. I love it.
Yay.
I love it.
Thank you for stopping by and giving us so much knowledge.
Listen, I had an amazing time. So this is my out.
Yeah.
Okay, so my out. So a couple things. Download the Kendra G singles dating app. You looking for love? Don't worry, boo. I got you. Date startings right now on the Kendra G singles dating app, iPhone and Android phones. And also we have the Kendra G singles card game. By the time you're watching this, pre-sales should be available. So what are you waiting for? Go to my page, click on the buy button, and be like us and get the game.
I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
This is O'Shea Jackson. You're listening to TFU Podcast, if you didn't know.